Previously on Old Iron Adventures. Brian and Jeremy finished their work at the Frank Reed Collection, pushing through the snow and getting closer to the sale. But at the office, the busyness has only just begun. Aumann Auctions has been in business for over 60 years and has been the leading force around the world in vintage power. And we're going to show you why. Through adventures around the world, you'll see vintage tractors, trucks, cars, memorabilia, and so much more. Aumann Auctions isn't just an auction company, but a group of men and women with a passion for the stories behind these items. Welcome to Old Iron Adventures. Tractor School has arrived. Hundreds of men and women from across the country traveled to Nokomis, Illinois for this event, and the Aumann's crew makes sure it's well worth it.
So Tractor School and Pre-30 go hand in hand, and our purpose for starting Tractor School was to bring people together to learn different aspects about our hobby. We bring instructors in from all over the country that are subject matter experts, and they will talk maybe about carburation or a restoration of a tractor. And people get to meet them firsthand and ask questions and be inquisitive. And what's even more important, they get to network with other collectors that are here. So this has become a meeting point or a rendezvous for antique tractor collectors, where they can share ideas and talk about restoration tips or talk about their greatest find, that they're working on. So then, it goes hand in hand with Pre-30 because the next day we have a big open house for all of the equipment. And, people actually get to spend time with it. It's not a rushed environment. We get things out and we run them, and they can ask questions, and not only from us, but they get to ask questions to their peers that are here. So that's where they really learn, and they can really do a thorough inspection of the things that we're selling, much more so than at a live auction when you only got a certain amount of time to even look at it, and you got to pay attention to what's going on because there's commerce happening.
It's Tractor School day. It's finally here. 7 a.m. Trying to get the PowerPoint finished because some people are a little last minute, but it's fine. Chris Hudson.
Last season, Chris Hudson was a main part of the Tractor School event, giving a demonstration to the audience. This year, Chris returns for a bigger demonstration with way more power behind him.
My name is Chris Hudson. I'm from Grass Lake, Michigan. We're back this year at Tractor School. Last year we did a presentation on tractor tuning and fine tuning and that type of stuff. This year we're going to talk about the Titan tractor we just restored. It's sitting outside here. So a little bit later, hopefully we will get a little bit of time to take a look at it.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're going to get some opening comments started and get a welcome going, and we'll get the show on the road. I'd like to welcome you here to the big city of Nokomis, Illinois. You have successfully doubled the size of the town today. This is hands down our biggest tractor school and also our largest Pre-30 auction. We've got, I guess the big impressive numbers that we've got are 3,000 lots of stuff that we're going to sell and 35 dozen donuts this morning. So it's humbling for us to have such a huge response. We're a family business, and we truly feel like our customers are family, and we feel like we've invited you over to our house this weekend. That's why we're cleaning and shoving stuff in closets, so make it look all presentable. So, hey, and last but not least, my partners Alex and Tyson, and all those people standing back by the barn. That is the Aumann Auction staff, and I couldn't be prouder of them for what they have put together here, because they really told me the other day that I'm nothing but the mascot. They do all the hard work, so thanks to everybody back there.
One of the highlights of this year's Tractor School and Pre-30 event is a highly valuable car collection that any car lover or movie buff would love to get behind the wheel of. The collection you see here was featured in the 2023 Oscar-nominated film Killers of the Flower Moon, a Martin Scorsese movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. And these cars that went from the big screens of Hollywood finally make their way to Aumann Auctions.
Hello, my name is Tim Woods. I'm a picture car coordinator. My job consists of reading a script, meeting with the director, talking about what we do, what kind of cars he wants to see. My job is to find the cars and do a presentation to the director after I've read the script and decided what he's looking for. One of the movies I've done that I have 10 cars, well 8 cars here, is Killers of the Flower Moon. And I'll tell you a little bit about them. It's a 1918 Chevrolet. I bought it in Ohio at a used car lot. It originally was light blue and black. And how we reuse movie cars is halfway through the movie, I will go to the director and say, you know, we've seen the light blue car for 20 scenes. Let's paint it a different color, and the director will decide on what color to paint it. So he chose a black, so it seemed to be the color of choice back in the early 20s. I know it's 1918, but that's how we get to it. Moving on, this is a 1923 Buick limousine. You got to get the interior of this thing. This thing is so cool. This looks like it's right out of Vegas. I mean, if you were around in Vegas in the early 20s, what makes this thing so rare is it is a limo.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, that interior was never available in 1923, but somebody has spent a lot of time and energy. And this car sat at basically the family house. In Pawhuska, per the script that I've read, people made a lot of money, and they would make up to like $150 a month, which was in 1920s, which is a lot of money. Yes, it's a 1923. I played it as a 1917, but you can get away with stuff like that depending on how the roof line is. That's really important. So most of the cars I portrayed as in 1923 that would make it look like there's so much money. It's so rich that we have struck it rich, and we're making money hand over fist. Now, the way that we ended up with, if we watch Killers of the Flower Moon, De Niro started in an Overland, and it was a baby blue Overland, and he actually hurt his knee halfway through the project, and so we had to get him something that he could drive. So we had this Buick. We bought it. It's a soft top. It's not a convertible. So the clutch was a lot easier for him to be able to drive in. So we trained him how to drive with this car, and he finishes the movie with this. So you'll see a ton of shots of De Niro in the car, either driving or sitting in the passenger seat. And it's because once we establish somebody in a car, that's their car, quote, their car. I bought this car for the show. I bought this out, when I say I bought them for Apple TV. They're the ones that I bought for, so I shopped for them. This car I bought down in Florida. It was originally, if you watch the movie, you'll see a white and green Dodge, and that's this car. And again, once we shot it up in Pawhuska and we moved to Fairfax, it was time to repaint so that we could repurpose the car and reuse it. So that's how we got to the green. It was white with green fenders. We just reversed it with the black on the fenders.
Tim Woods, a renowned picture car coordinator for films such as Mindhunter, Star Trek, and The Killer, has made his way to Nokomis, Illinois to discuss his role behind the scenes in movies and why a collection of cars like the ones at Tractor School are so valuable and ones to pay attention to.
Well, you guys are one of the biggest auction houses around. I have an overabundance of cars that I can't store. So one of my major picture car guys, JC Picture Cars, recommended him. I had the cars hauled here about 6 or 8 weeks ago. We're seeing how they're going to go, and we'll see what happens when if we sell them. Most of these vehicles I brought here today, excluding the race car that we had to build, I had found 2 race cars in the middle of Ohio that were powered a lot faster than these, so I needed something that would keep up to them, and then I had to slow down the race cars that had the current motors in them so that it looked like a race and not like this is stupid. So we converted that car over there to 12 volt and fuel celled it and put obviously a safety harness and stuff in it for Apple TV to allow us to do it. But that's the most highly modified we have. I really just read the script to see who had the money, and it seemed like Hale had a lot of the money, and so I tried to get him in something that which is De Niro. I wanted to get him in something that for the time seemed to be rich. I did have a Pierce Arrow in it, and I had a period correct Cadillac also, but they only played for a few, very, very few scenes. But most of the cars, these are just run-of-the-mill cars that my team has gone through and tried to keep as period as correct so that we, are really showing what it looked like at the time. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you. I think the event's amazing. I could not, well, first of all, when I pulled in here, I thought we were shooting a pickup commercial. I've never seen more pickups in my entire life. There's got to be 100 pickups. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, anything you could think of. And everybody here, all the classes and the seminars that have been going on, I think are amazing. Everybody has sat through them, they're enjoying them. We had a person from U-Haul here and proper trailer towing and proper trailer hauling, and it's a very informative thing. I don't know how often you guys do these, but the audience was very intrigued with everything that you guys have produced today, and I think that's amazing.
Okay, so I'm here with the Nokomis Fire Department. They're cooking lunch, chicken. It's all charcoal cooked chicken, so it's been on for several hours. Good group of guys here cooking lunch for the tractor school here at Aumann Auctions. So we're doing actually chicken and brats. Please everybody.
Every year, Tractor School has demonstrators come from around the country to speak at the event. This year, we got amazing courses from Ed Larson and Dan Christ, who spoke on the early years of collecting, including photographs and hilarious stories.
I'm on that binaural pole, I can't hear nothing. And he's talking from clear back there. And what he's telling me is he's got a Diet Coke sitting in the toolbox, and he's getting mad at me because the oil flow is bouncing. I want you all to think about something that you want in the hobby, not because of money value, but because you like the honor. The early days of collecting wasn't that we knew this stuff was going to get worth money.
But as the presentations continue, and as people fill their stomachs with good food, Chris Hudson gets ready for his presentation on the restored Titan tractor. With confidence running high and a tractor with one of the best restorations you can find, this will be one you won't want to miss. Tractor School is a great event for networking and learning about the vintage power hobby, but it's also a great opportunity to see vintage power up close.
This is the Titan tractor we restored. We're gonna do a little talk on it a little later, but basically what we did, the tractor came to us, it was in a lot of disrepair due to wear and deterioration from rust. We took the tractor, we took it completely 100% apart, welded, fabricated, all the pieces that were not usable. We went through, re-machined everything in the tractor. We built a new radiator for it. We built all the new fenders, painted the tractor, fit everything on it, replaced all the woodworking. Just everything was repaired on it. There's nothing left untouched on it. And it's a really good example of, what one of these tractors would have looked like back in the day. This tractor's got a lot of unique features to it. One of them being this export belt pulley. It's a steel-on-steel drive pulley or cast-on-cast drive pulley. And it was only on the export tractors. I don't really know why they did it. One of the other things is the mechanical lubricator. It's a Madison Kip lubricator. They only use those on tractors that were exported to Australia. Again, don't know why they did that. And another thing that's pretty unique about it, before it was exported to Australia, they had to convert it to throttle and govern from hit and miss. There was laws in certain parts of Australia where you could not sell a hit and miss tractor, so it received the updates. Last year was a little nervous. This year I feel pretty good. I know this thing inside and out. I could probably write a book about it. So, there's gonna be no problem, talking about it, what we did.
Don't jinx yourself.
I know, don't jinx myself, but there's always that possibility.
With seminars and demonstrations slowly wrapping up, it is finally time for Chris to set the stage and to begin presenting.
How he shifted from that all the way to what you see sitting outside. Really amazing amount of work went into this, and the detail that went into it is second to none. So I'll pass it over to Chris, and I think KR is going to be up here and answer a couple questions. He had some work on the project as well.
All right, my name's Chris Hudson. We'll be talking about the tractor that's sitting outside there. The tractor was, as Alex said, it was recently brought back from Australia. But through this presentation, we're gonna go through some of the history of the tractor, bringing it back, the blueprints, going through, what we did on the restoration. And then after that, we'll go outside and start the tractor and go from there. This is when the tractor was still sitting out in the bush in Australia. Originally it was imported in 1912, and it was actually, this top photo here was displayed at the Royal Melbourne Show, and then where it was sold was purchased by a timber merchant where they used it to skid logs and saw lumber. They used it until about, from what I understand, 1940, then it was left abandoned. In the 1960s, the Boardman family, they stumbled upon it while fighting bushfires, and he purchased it, and it sat at his farm for the next foreseeable future until it was decided to bring over here. When it was sold, the buyer that purchased the tractor, they agreed to send us a tractor and, go through the restoration.
So Aumann Auctions sold this tractor in what, 2020?
2021.
2021. The family wanted to sell it in America because it probably had more value in America. So it was exported to America and then sold here in 2021.
So I think we should go crank it up.
You know how to start that thing?
No.
All right, we're going to open up the door, and he's going to go ahead and crank this thing, and then we're going to, right after that, we'll be going on to Ken and Carl Jansen. They've got another tractor outside that they're going to go over some things with, and after that, we'll have some fun.
With Chris's indoor presentation done, he leads the audience outside to show the finished product. But as always with vintage tractors, you never know what they might have in store for you. Next time on Old Iron Adventures. Tractor School continues on with good stories and vintage power. Chris Hudson finally presents his tractor restoration, all while overcoming a small bump in the road.